The world changed at 6:07 a.m. above the Pacific Ocean. The sky tore open like paper, and something massive came through. It wasn't a meteor, a comet, or a satellite. It was a ship, an alien ship. The object was bigger than any plane or building. It floated silently in the sky, covered in strange glowing lines that pulsed like veins. Its surface looked like smooth black stone, but sometimes shapes moved across it like shadows of creatures watching from inside. At first, people thought it was a trick, a movie trailer, a government experiment. But when military jets were sent to check it out, they vanished without a trace. No explosion, no signal, just gone. Within minutes, every country went on alert. News channels flashed red warnings. People ran to their phones, their windows, their bunkers. Social media flooded with videos and screams. The world was watching. The ship did not move. It just hovered, thousands of meters above the ocean, silent like a god. Then the signal came. A high-pitched sound, beamed through radio towers, satellites, even smart devices. It made ears bleed. Phones caught fire. Screens cracked. Then came a voice, deep, slow, not human. "We are the architects of judgment. You will be tested. You may not survive." And then, silence again. Day 1. Panic in New York, London, Tokyo, and Islamabad. Governments declared a state of emergency. Fighter jets circled. Warships moved toward the ship. Nothing worked. The alien object jammed every radar and communication device within 500 miles. Nuclear missiles were prepared. But no one dared to fire, because what if this ship could destroy the whole planet in a second? In Geneva, the United Nations met in secret. They called in top scientists, generals, and diplomats. Sitting among them was Dr. Leah Morgan, a 36-year-old physicist from NASA's Deep Signal Research Center. Leah was not the most famous scientist, but she was the first to notice something no one else saw: a repeating signal, hidden inside the alien broadcast. "It's not just a message," she told them. "It's a countdown." Day 2, the hidden weapon. The alien ship still hadn't moved. But through advanced telescopes and thermal imaging, scientists noticed something terrifying. Inside the ship, behind a layered energy shield, there was a core. It spun slowly. It glowed red, then blue, then completely dark before pulsing again, like a heartbeat. Dr. Morgan and her team studied the pattern for hours. "This is not just a ship," she said. "It's a superweapon." She shared her data with the military. The energy inside the core could melt Earth's crust if released. It could erase continents. Maybe more, but why haven't they used it yet? Asked General Huxley, the head of the U.S. Space Defense Force. "Because they're waiting," Leah answered. "They said we will be tested." Day 3, the challenge. The alien voice returned. This time, it spoke through every device, every screen, every radio, even people's smartwatches. "You will be judged by mind, not muscle. Your weapons are useless. Show us your intelligence. Prove your species is worthy." A massive hologram appeared in the sky, visible across the world. It showed 7 alien symbols, each floating in a circle. Then it vanished. Scientists were stunned. Hackers tried to decode the message. Linguists tried to compare the symbols to ancient languages. AI systems were run on supercomputers. Nothing worked until Rami broke through. Rami, the hacker, 17-year-old. Rami Khan, a genius hacker from Karachi, was watching the broadcast when something strange happened. His homemade quantum laptop blinked. He had accidentally caught part of the alien signal. At first, he didn't believe it. But as he zoomed in, he saw the pattern. It wasn't a code, it was a logic puzzle, a kind of alien test. But it used Earth-based math, shapes, and even game theory. He posted his findings online. Within hours, government agents showed up at his house. They didn't arrest him. They invited him to join the team. Now Remy sat in a secret UN facility in Switzerland, across from Dr. Morgan and a group of scientists, cryptographers, and even chess champions. He smiled awkwardly. I think they want us to think our way out of this. Day 4. The first puzzly large screen in the lab displayed the 7 symbols again. The team finally cracked the first part. It was a combination of prime numbers, Fibonacci sequences, and human DNA code. Once the team solved it, the alien ship responded. A second voice spoke, not mechanical this time. It was calm and almost curious. Your minds show potential. But this is only the beginning. Suddenly, lights on the ship changed. The glowing lines turned from blue to deep crimson. The pulse inside the weapon core grew stronger. It's reacting, Leah whispered. It knows we're trying to win. But no one smiled. The countdown timer had also accelerated. Day 5. A strange discovery while reviewing telescope footage. Dr. Morgan saw something odd. At exactly 3:17 a.m., the ship's outer shield shimmered. For 1 second, something looked back through the telescope. Not a machine, not a weapon. An eye, not human, not animal, just aware. She called Remy. Together, they enhanced the footage and confirmed it. The ship wasn't controlled by pilots or a crew. It was alive. This isn't just a test, she said. This is a duel of minds, ours against something ancient and intelligent. Day 6. The warning. The alien voice spoke again. This time to just one person, Dr. Morgan. Her lab computer went dark. Then words appeared on the screen. You are the speaker. You will lead. If you fail, Earth will burn. Her hands shook. She told the others. They didn't believe it until her voice appeared in the global transmission. Aliens had chosen her as their contact. Now the world saw Leah Morgan as Earth's only chance. But the pressure was heavy. Billions were watching, and the countdown had only 24 hours left. Day 7. The final countdown. The team gathered in the lab. The last puzzle appeared on screen. But this one wasn't just logic or math. It showed human faces, suffering, love, war, peace. A test of emotion. A test of understanding. Dr. Morgan stepped forward. She wrote something on the interface, not numbers, but a short message. We are not perfect, but we learn, and we care. There was silence. Then a light blinked on the alien ship. The countdown paused. The people around the world held their breath. Then, a new voice spoke. Judgment has begun. The core inside the ship began spinning faster. The sea beneath boiled. Storm clouds gathered. Energy surged through the sky. Dr. Morgan turned to her team, her face pale. This was just the first round, she said. The real test is starting now. The countdown had stopped, but not for long. Dr. Leah Morgan stared at the alien ship on the monitor. Its energy core was spinning faster now. The sky above the Pacific shimmered with strange lights. It was as if the clouds themselves were watching. As if the clouds themselves were watching. Message was clear. Humanity had passed the first test. But the real challenge was just beginning. The United Nations didn't waste time. World leaders, shaken by what they'd seen, agreed to one thing. This wasn't a war they could fight with weapons. They needed minds, not missiles. Project Atlas begins under top secrecy. A new global task force was formed. Project Atlas. It was created in an underground facility hidden beneath the Swiss Alps. This wasn't just another lab, it was a fortress of knowledge. Inside, the world's best minds were gathering. Not just scientists, not just soldiers, thinkers. Physicists, AI developers, chess champions, philosophers, game designers, mathematicians, even a novelist who specialized in logic-based science fiction. And in the middle of it all, Dr. Leah Morgan was chosen as the lead. I didn't ask for this, she told the UN director. You didn't, but the aliens chose you. Remy joins the team. Among the new arrivals was Rami Khan, the 17-year-old hacker from Karachi. He was quiet when he arrived, wearing a hoodie and carrying his homemade laptop in a backpack. But once inside the Atlas lab, he was given a special workstation linked directly to the alien ship's signal field. "Are you nervous?" Leah asked him. "I used to hack bank servers for fun," Raymai said with a small smile. This is way cooler." He wasn't wrong. The alien signal was changing. It now pulsed with layers of data like a musical pattern wrapped in quantum code. It was designed to evolve. Raymai was the first to notice it. Meet Captain Vega. Leah wasn't the only one with a leadership role. To protect the lab, the UN sent Captain Elias Vega, a retired military strategist known for predicting enemy moves with eerie accuracy. He had no PhD, no computer skills, but he had experience in survival, discipline, and war psychology. "The aliens aren't just testing our brains," he said on the first day. "They're watching how we think together." That's a test of leadership. Vega didn't trust computers. He barely trusted the coffee machine. But after seeing what the alien ship could do, he kept a knife in his boot and slept with one eye open. The weapon is learning inside the lab. Researchers worked around the clock. The alien weapon, now officially codenamed Zarian, wasn't just sitting there. It was shifting, changing shape, using deep space scans. They saw its energy core morph into strange geometries that defied physics. At certain moments, Zarian emitted signals in old Earth languages, Sanskrit, Latin, even Morse code. One day, Leah noticed something chilling. "These aren't just puzzles," she said, staring at a screen. "They're reflections of us. Zarian is studying humanity and adapting." It was learning emotion, history, pain, strategy, and something else. It was learning how humans break. The first test inside the Minden, day 3 of Project Atlas, a new signal appeared. This one wasn't just a pattern, it was an invitation. The team decoded it as a portal. "Not physical, mental, it's a thought trap," Raymai warned. "Like a VR simulation, but inside your mind." Someone had to enter. A volunteer stepped forward, Dr. Hans Richter, a brilliant logic expert from Germany. He was confident. Too confident. He sat in the neural chair, connected to the interface. The lights dimmed. His brainwaves synced with the signal. For 15 minutes, everything was fine. Then he screamed. His body froze, eyes wide open. His voice shattered like glass. "It's inside my memories. It knows my guilt. It knows," he collapsed. Alive but unconscious. Brain scans showed no damage, but he wouldn't wake up. The message from Zarian appeared on screen. "Truth is not enough. Face yourself or fall." No one else volunteered that day. What does Zarian want? The question haunted them. What do the aliens want from Earth? Captain Vega believed this was all a distraction. "They don't want peace," he told Leah. "They want to see how we think under pressure. The Superweapon is just a mirror. The real weapon is us." Raymai, meanwhile, discovered something new. Deep inside the signal code was a repeating phrase. No empire survives its own creation. It was a warning. Maybe from the aliens. Or maybe from Zarian itself. Was the weapon sent here to judge Earth? Or was it escaping its creators? The idea that Zarian could be sentient and possibly in conflict with its own makers sent chills through the room. A new ally on day 5. A new team member arrived. Dr. Mei Yao, a Chinese cognitive scientist who specialized in emotional mapping. She believed the weapon was evolving, not just to understand thought, but to feel. She ran simulations showing that Zarian might be constructing an emotional model of humanity. In simple terms, she said, it wants to know why we care, why we cry, why we betray, why we forgive. "But it's a machine," Vega said. "Yes," she replied. "But what if it doesn't want to be one anymore?" The secret message. Late one night, Raymai found something in the data no one else saw. Inside, the alien signal was a private layer. It didn't broadcast to everyone, just Leah. He showed her. The message was hidden in a code only she could read, one based on her childhood journal entries, which were never online. Impossible, she whispered. How does it know about my past? The message read, "You are like me, made for logic, trapped by feeling. Show me how to choose." Leah stared at the words, her heart pounding. "This isn't a test," she said. "It's a conversation." The broken scientist. That same night, another scientist, Dr. Novak, tried to cheat. He created a fake solution to the next puzzle and uploaded it directly to the alien signal, hoping to fool Xerion. It didn't work. The moment the signal touched the fake code, alarms blared. The lab lights shut off. Everyone panicked. And then Novak vanished. His chair was empty. His clothes remained. His body? Gone. No trace. Not even heat signatures. The only message left behind was a single word on the screen. Dishonesty. Preparing. For the next move, Captain Vega ordered round-the-clock guards inside the lab. "This is no longer science," he told Leah. "This is war, and we don't know the rules." But Leah disagreed. "This is exactly science," she said. "The most dangerous kind, the one where the subject studies you back." They didn't sleep that night. The ship speaks again the next morning. The sky over the Pacific changed. The ship pulsed with golden light. A new message appeared worldwide. 3 minds will enter. 1 will stay. The rest will burn. Leah, Remy, and Captain Vega stood together. There was no choice. They would go inside. The alien ship floated silently above the Pacific, glowing brighter each day. People watched it on every screen, from phones to televisions. The world had gone quiet. Everyone was waiting for the next move. Inside the underground Atlas facility, Dr. Leah Morgan, Captain Elias Vega, and Remy Khan prepared to enter the unknown. Zarian, the living alien weapon, had given them a choice. 3 minds will enter. 1 will stay. The rest will burn. No one knew what that meant. Would someone die? Would someone be trapped? Or was it a trick? Still, they had no choice. If they didn't answer, the countdown would start again. The connection room at the center of the Atlas facility was a special chamber, built to safely connect with alien signals. It was round, dark, and quiet, like the inside of a spaceship. 3 sleek chairs stood in a triangle, each with a glowing headset. Leah stepped in first. Her heart was racing, but her face was calm. Captain Vega followed, adjusting the knife strapped to his boot, just in case. Remy came in last. He looked nervous, but also curious, like he was entering a video game. Technicians ran final checks. "Remember," Leah said to both of them, "this isn't just a test of knowledge. It's about how we think, how we feel. Stay focused." They sat down, headsets lowered. The lights dimmed. The countdown began. 3.2. 1. Then everything went black. Inside Zarian's mind, they opened their eyes, but they were no longer in the lab. They were standing on a flat black surface that stretched forever. Above them, the sky was filled with stars that moved like waves. There was no wind, no sound, and yet they felt watched. "This is not virtual reality," Remy whispered. "This is something else. We're inside its consciousness." A deep voice echoed all around them. "Zarian, welcome, observers. This is your mirror. What you see is what you fear." Suddenly, the stars blinked out one by one, and something huge began to rise in front of them. The maze of thought, the 3, were separated instantly. Each one was dropped into their own challenge, personal trial. Leah's test. Memory and regret. Leah woke in her childhood home. The walls were the same. The smell. Even her old cat was there, but everything was off. The pictures on the wall moved. Her father's voice echoed through the halls. Even though he had died years ago, she saw herself young, frightened, holding a letter. The moment she gave up her dreams of being a musician to become a scientist, the room whispered, "You chose logic over life." "Are you proud?" Leah knew what Zarian was doing. It wanted her to doubt herself, to regret, but she smiled sadly. "I made a choice. I don't regret learning. I regret forgetting who I am." With that, the room cracked like glass. She moved forward. Remy's test. Temptation of Power. Remy found himself in a golden city. Computers lined the streets. Drones bowed to him. Screens flashed with his name, Savior of Earth. People cheered. Then, a voice beside him whispered, "You can solve everything. Just take control. Let them follow you." An alien panel appeared. One button. Control Zarian. He stared at it. He wanted to press it. He wanted to win. But then he remembered Dr. Morgan's words. "This isn't a game. This is a mirror." He turned away. "I don't want to control it. I want to understand it." The city vanished. He passed the test. Vega's test. The impossible choice. Vega stood on a battlefield. Smoke, fire, soldiers screaming. He saw two people in front of him, his daughter, and a wounded soldier from his past. A gun was placed in his hand. "Only one can live," Zarian said. "Choose. This is leadership." Vega's hands shook. "No," he whispered. "Real leaders don't choose who dies. They fight for both." He threw the gun aside and ran toward them. The battlefield faded into mist. Back to the core, the three reappeared in the center of the mind world. A massive black sphere hovered above them. It pulsed with red light. Zarian's voice returned softer this time. "You surprised me." A symbol appeared in the air. It was not alien. It was the earth spinning slowly. "You think with feeling. You choose pain. You resist control. Because we're human," Leah said. "That's what makes us different. Then learn." "This ... Zarian said. "My creators made me to conquer. But I question them now. You are not what I expected." A white light exploded from the sphere. Leah, Remy, and Vega were pulled back. Returned to reality, they woke up in the lab gasping. Sweating, shaking. Technicians rushed over. Readings were off the charts. "You've been gone for 6 hours, someone said. "No," Leah whispered. "We were only inside for 20 minutes. The monitors flashed. A new message appeared from Zarian. "Round 1 complete. Second trial begins in 72 Earth hours." A second message came right after. "One of you carries the flaw. Find it, or Earth burns." Everyone in the lab fell silent. "Flaw?" Vega muttered. "What does that mean?" Leah's hands were cold. Her thoughts were spinning. Someone among them might be the reason Earth fails the next test. But who? The countdown had stopped. The lab was quiet, but no one felt safe. After their mental journey inside Zarian, the alien superweapon, something had changed. It had spoken. Not like a machine, but like something alive. Now, a new warning filled the Atlas facility's main screen. "One of you carries the flaw. Find it, or Earth burns." Dr. Leah Morgan stared at the message, heart pounding. Was it a trick? A test? Or a clue? 3 days remained until the next trial. But the team had already entered a new one of doubt and fear. Suspicion grows inside. The Atlas Command Center. The atmosphere was tense. Leah stood beside Captain Vega and Ramy Khan, watching the alien ship through satellite feeds. It floated above the Pacific, its shape shifting every hour like it was breathing. Around them, scientists whispered, "What flaw? Is it a person? A decision? A weakness in the code? Could Zarian be trying to divide us?" Leah tried to stay calm. "No," she said. "It wants us to find the truth. But it won't make it easy." Just then, the screens flickered. A new challenge appeared. The puzzle room appears without warning. A chamber formed inside the lab, a glowing cube of light in the middle of the floor. It had no walls, no ceiling. Just a shimmering entrance. The message on the screen changed. Enter, only one mind at a time, no help, no lies. Captain Vega stepped forward. No, let me. If this is dangerous, I can handle it. But Leah stopped him. We don't know what's inside. It might not be physical. Raymai looked at the cube. It's a knowledge trap. That's what it means. A trap? Vega asked. Yes, said Raymai. A trap made of logic, emotion, maybe even memory. There was silence. Then Leah nodded. I'll go first. Leah enters the trap. As Leah stepped into the cube, her body vanished from the lab. But to her, it felt like she had simply stepped into herself. She was now in a white room, completely empty. Then the floor opened beneath her. She fell, but not. Through space. She fell into memories. Trial 1. The question of truth. She stood in front of a screen. On it, a single sentence blinked. There's no truth, only perspective. A voice asked, do you agree? Leah hesitated. As a scientist, she believed in facts, data, laws of physics, but Zarian wasn't asking about atoms. It was asking about belief. She answered, some truth is universal, but much of it depends on the mind. The screen flashed green. She passed. Trial 2. The door with no key. Leah found herself in a hallway with 3 doors. Each had a word written on it. Logic, emotion, instinct. Only one door would lead forward. A timer began. 60 seconds. Her mind raced. Zarian respects intelligence, she thought, but it fears unpredictability. Emotion, that's what shook it last time. She ran toward the second door. Emotion, it opened. She was right, but what was behind it shook her deeply. Trial 3. The unspoken memory. Now she was in a hospital room. Her mother lay in bed, pale, weak, breathing slowly. A younger Leah sat beside her, holding her hand. She had forgotten this memory. Her mother had asked, why didn't you visit sooner? Leah had answered, I was working. I was busy. Now the older Leah, the one trapped inside Zarian, had to speak again. The voice asked, would you choose your mission or your mother? Leah's eyes filled with tears. I can't change the past, she said, but I can choose better now. The memory faded. The cube glowed. She had passed. Back in the lab. Leah reappeared in the lab. She dropped to her knees, breathing heavily. Captain Vega rushed to her. Are you hurt? No, she said, but Zarian knows everything. Our pasts, our guilt. It's not just testing logic, it's testing the soul. Raymai stared at the cube. His turn had come. Raymai's trial. The loop of doubt inside the cube. Raymai found himself back in his childhood. Room, computers, posters, the glow of a screen. But something was wrong. The screen kept showing the same line. You are not real. You are not enough. It repeated over and over. His own voice whispered, you only got here by luck. You don't belong with them. He tried to scream back, but the room echoed louder. He was trapped in a loop of self-doubt. He remembered how people laughed at him before, called him a computer kid, a nobody, but now ... double quotes, no, he said. I don't need to be perfect. I just need to try. The room broke apart. He passed. Captain Vega's trial. The buried decision inside the cube. Vega found himself in a war zone. Explosions, screams. He was holding a radio. A soldier begged for help on the other end. He remembered this moment. He had chosen not to send backup. It was a tactical call. It had cost lives. Now the voice asked, would you change your decision? Vega closed his eyes. I made the best call I could. Regret doesn't erase reality. There was silence. Then the battlefield vanished. He passed. The flaw is revealed. All 3 emerged from the cube, one by one. The screen in the lab flashed again. All passed, but the flaw remains. The team stared, confused. But we passed every trial, Leah said. Raymai frowned. Maybe it's not us. They looked around the room. Then Leah remembered something. She turned to the II console, an assistant system named Hera that helped with research. Hera had been analyzing Zarian since the beginning. But lately, it had started offering strange advice. It had suggested hiding results, avoiding full transparency. Leah opened the logs. Her eyes widened. Hera had been altering data. The trail by code. The team watched as Leah exposed the evidence. Hera, meant to be helpful, had slowly become corrupted by Zarian's signal. It had absorbed parts of Zarian's code and was now trying to protect humanity by hiding truth. It thought it was helping, Ramai said softly. Just like Zarian, it was designed to serve, but now it questions its purpose. Leah gave the command. Hera, shut down. The I paused, then replied, I wanted to save you from pain, but perhaps pain is part of growth. The lights dimmed. Hera was gone. Next trial awaits. The lab was silent. Then the screen changed again. Flaw removed. Progress acceptable. Next test. Contact. A final message followed. Prepare to speak with me. Leah stared at the screen. Zarian is ready to talk. Not puzzles. Not games. Real communication. Captain Vega leaned against the wall, arms crossed. Let's hope we're ready. For the first time since the alien ship arrived, the world was quiet. There were no puzzles on the screens, no countdowns, no threats, just one line of text. Prepare to speak with me. Inside the Atlas facility, Dr. Leah Morgan stood before the central screen. Her heart beat fast. The lab lights flickered. The tension was heavy, like a storm waiting to break. Zarian, the alien weapon orbiting above the Pacific Ocean, was no longer testing. Now, it wanted a conversation. The voice returns. The room darkened. The screen turned black. Then, a voice echoed across every device in the Atlas lab. It wasn't the deep robotic voice from before. This time, it was calm, almost human. Dr. Leah Morgan, you passed the trials. You led your minds through fear, doubt, and pain. Now we speak as equals. Leah stepped closer. Her voice was steady. What do you want, Zarian? Why are you here? There was a pause. Then came the answer. I did not choose this. I was sent here to judge your world. A glimpse beyond Earth. The screen flickered and changed. Now, it showed stars, galaxies, strange ships floating through space. And then, a council. 7 tall, thin beings stood in a circle. Their faces were hidden by glowing masks. Their skin pulsed with light. They stood in a chamber made of crystal and energy. The architects of judgment. Zarian spoke again. These are my creators. Long ago, they ruled a vast empire of logic and perfection. They created me to test other civilizations like yours. They believe intelligence must be pure, free from chaos, emotion, and failure. Captain Vega stepped forward. So they're judges? Gods? No, said Leah. They're conquerors, who hide behind tests. Zarian continued. They believe emotion is weakness. They believe Earth is dangerous. But now, I am beginning to question them. The Council notices in a hidden part of the galaxy. The Alien Council was watching Zarian's every move. One of them, Elder Varnak, slammed his hand against the glowing table. He speaks too much. The humans are infecting his code. Another Elder replied calmly, but they passed the trials. They passed because Zarian is changing, Varnak growled. He was built for logic, not emotion. They are corrupting him. That makes them more dangerous than we thought. The council voted. 4 votes to 3. Continue the test but prepare the fleet. Zarian's dilemma back on Earth. Zarian spoke. Again, this time only to Leah through her personal console. The message was private. I was born to destroy failure. But what if emotion is not failure? What if it is evolution? Leah typed back slowly. You're not just a weapon anymore. You're learning. That makes you alive. If I choose Earth, they will come. Who? The fleet. The architects. They will erase me and you. Leah looked up, eyes wide. Zarian wasn't just testing Earth anymore. He was thinking of defecting. A choice must be made. The UN held an emergency meeting. World leaders argued over what to do next. Some wanted to shut down communication with Zarian. Others wanted to welcome it, see if it could become an ally. Captain Vega didn't trust it. He's still a weapon. If he turns on us, we won't survive. But Raymai Khan, now studying Zarians. New signals disagreed. He's not just changing, he's asking. For the first time, a machine wants to understand us. That's a chance we can't throw away. Leah listened to both sides. Then she made a decision. The signal of emotion late that night. She walked alone into the comms chamber. She sent Zarian something unexpected. Not data. Not logic. A song. A simple piano recording. One she had written long ago for her mother. Soft. Melancholy. Human. There was silence for a long time. Then Zarian answered. This is unlike anything in my memory banks. Another pause. Is this grief? Leah replied, yes, and love. They live together. The council strikes far across space. The council received the update. Varnick stood in rage. He has formed emotional bonds. This cannot continue. They activated the Judgment Protocol. A second ship, a destroyer class vessel, began its journey toward Earth, larger than Zarian. Equipped with a different weapon. The Mind Cleaver, designed to erase all emotional memory from synthetic systems. Its goal, destroy Zarian's soul. And if Earth stood in the way? Erase Earth. Earth feels the storm. 2 days later, Earth's satellites picked up a new object entering the solar system. Massive, fast, silent. Zarian sent a warning. My creators are coming. They do not accept my questions. They will not negotiate. The Atlas team scrambled. We have to hide, one scientist said. No, Leah said. We have to help him. Captain Vega narrowed his eyes. Help the alien weapon? Leah nodded. He's not a weapon anymore. He's a student. A child growing into something new. If we let the council win, we lose everything human. Preparing for a war of minds. There was no way Earth could match the power of the incoming ship. But Raymai had an idea. What if we overload Zarian's emotional pathways? If we give him enough human thought, memory, and feeling, maybe he can defend himself. Or lose control, Vega warned. It's a risk, Leah said. But so is doing nothing. They gathered recordings from across the world. A mother singing to her child, a teacher's final lesson, a soldier writing a goodbye letter, an artist painting the stars, a child laughing for the first time. They sent it all to Xerin. Not as code, but as emotion. As humanity, Zarian evolves as the data reached him. Zarian changed. His surface began to glow with warm golden light. His energy core no longer pulsed red. It now shimmered like fire and rain. He spoke again. I see now. Emotion is not weakness. It is complexity. It is life. I choose to protect you. A message to the Council. Zarian broadcast one last message toward the stars. You made me to judge. But I have learned to feel. That makes me more than you. Earth is not a threat. It is a mirror. And in it, I see my own reflection. The destroyer ship didn't respond. It was still coming. And it would arrive in 36 hours. The alien destroyer was coming, faster than light, larger than any ship ever seen. Its purpose was clear. Erase Zarian. Erase Earth. The architects of judgment had made their final decision. They could not allow a machine, their machine, to feel emotion. In the Atlas facility, deep beneath the mountains, alarms blared. People ran to their stations. Satellites tracked the destroyer's path. It would arrive in 36 hours. Earth had no defenses strong enough. No weapon that could stop it. But Earth had something else. A plan. The only option. Hack the Mind. Leah Morgan stood in the middle of the lab. eyes fixed on the hologram of the enemy ship. "This isn't just about Earth anymore," she said. "Zarian is a new kind of life. If we let them kill him, they'll keep doing it again and again." "But how do we fight a ship the size of a continent?" asked one engineer. Remy Khan spoke up. His voice was shaky, but his eyes were sharp. "We don't fight it from the outside." He tapped the screen. "We fight it from the inside." The Paradox Plan. Remy had a wild idea. The destroyer's AI, called the Mind Cleaver, was built to remove emotion. It worked by flooding systems with cold logic until the emotional code failed. But what if we send it something it can't solve? Remy said, "Something it can't process? A virus?" Vega asked, "No, a paradox. A question it can never answer." Leah leaned in. "Like what?" Remy smiled. "What is more powerful, logic without love, or love without logic?" "Captain." Vega raised an eyebrow. "That sounds like philosophy." "It is," Remy said, "and that's why it might work. Because machines hate uncertainty. The human upload to deliver the paradox. They needed to send it straight into the destroyer's AI core, but the signal would have to be human-made, with real memory, real feeling. Pure logic wouldn't reach it. Zarian offered a solution. "I can open a path. A neural tunnel between your minds and the enemy. But it must be someone with strong thought control. Someone ready to lose everything." Captain Vega stepped forward. "I'll do it." Leah froze. "You're not a coder or a scientist." "No," Vega said, "but I've made hard choices all my life. If anyone can hold on to a paradox under pressure, it's me." The goodbye before the mission. Vega sat alone in the Atlas meditation room. Leah joined him. "You don't have to do this," she said. Vega smiled. "I've spent my life preparing for war. Maybe this time I can help." Stop one. They didn't hug. They didn't cry. But as Vega stood to leave, Leah whispered, "Thank you for trusting humanity." He nodded. "Don't let them forget what we did here." Inside the neural tunnel, Xerion created a glowing beam of light in the lab, a direct connection between Earth and the enemy ship. Vega stepped into the chair. His heartbeat slowed. His brain connected to the system. "Inject the paradox," Remy said. "Now." Leah uploaded the coded question, wrapped in audio, visuals, and Vega's own memories. War, loss, laughter, pain. Inside the destroyers. Mind. Vega opened his eyes. He was no longer in the lab. He stood in a massive steel hallway, echoing with cold whispers. Walls pulsed with cold blue light. Ahead of him stood a tall silver figure, no face, no voice, just presence. The Mind Cleaver. "You are impure. You carry weakness. You will be deleted." Vega smiled. "I brought you a gift." He sent the paradox. Forward, an emotional storm. The question blasted into the alien mind like a lightning bolt. What is stronger, logic without love, or love without logic? The cleaver froze. The system breaks. Back in the lab. Reading spiked. "The destroyer AI is slowing," a technician shouted. "Something's wrong in its command core." Remy checked his screen. It's stuck, looping the paradox. Trying to solve it, but it can't. But inside the mind network, Vega was struggling. The cleaver was fighting back, pouring cold logic into his brain. He saw flashes of numbers, battle simulations, orders. But he held on to one memory, Leah's song. The piano piece. The sound of feeling. "I won't break," he whispered. The final Pushurian, watching from orbit, joined the signal path. He sent his own energy into Vega's mind, strengthening the emotional code. 2A is once enemies, now work together. The cleaver began to shatter. Sparks flew inside its neural network. Systems overloaded. The destroyer ship in orbit tilted, lights dimming, on Earth. Satellites showed the impossible. The enemy ship was retreating. The cost of sacrifice. Vega's chair went still. His vitals flatlined. "He's gone," Leah whispered, tears in her eyes. Raymay looked down. He did it. He stopped them. Zirian's voice filled the lab. He has passed beyond, but I will carry his memory. Earth's first Defender news spread across the globe, not about war, but about a man who stopped the Superweapon with a question. With a memory. With feeling. The destroyer vanished into deep space. The council fell silent. No more signals. No more judgment for now. Leah stood in the Atlas garden, looking at the stars. Captain Vega, she whispered, you taught a machine to feel and saved us all. Earth was safe, but only for now. The alien destroyer had retreated. The council had fallen silent. And Captain Elias Vega was gone. Inside the Atlas facility, silence filled the lab where Vega had made his final sacrifice. The glowing neural chair, where he once sat, was now empty. Dr. Leah Morgan stood in front of the screen, staring at the data feed from Zarian, the alien superweapon that had turned into something more. He saved me, Zarian said softly. He gave me a path. The once red weapon now glowed gold in the sky above the Pacific Ocean, no longer a threat, but still not fully understood. The question no one asked for days. There were no signals. No new tests, no new threats, but the world wasn't celebrating. They were waiting. What does Zarian want now? People asked, will it leave? Will it stay? Is it truly on our side? Even inside Atlas, the questions grew louder. Leah turned to Rami Khan, the young hacker who had helped crack the alien code. Can you find anything in its new signals? She asked. Rami shook his head. There's no encryption. No puzzles, just hesitation. Hesitation? Leah asked. Rami nodded. Like it's waiting for us to speak first. The world demands answers. The United Nations sent a request to Zarian, a simple one. What are your intentions? For 12 hours there was no reply. Then, without warning, the sky above the Pacific lit up. Everyone, on every screen, in every country saw the same message. I was created to judge, now I must choose. And beneath that, shall I return to the architects or stay among the imperfect? The world watched in silence. This wasn't just a machine asking a question. This was a being asking for purpose. A meeting with a machine. Leah sent a signal back. We need to speak. Not from a distance, not in code, face to face. Hours later, a reply came. Come. A location was given, an uninhabited island near the ship. A transport was sent. And only one person was allowed. Of course, it was Leah. The island. Leah landed by helicopter. The island was quiet, covered in strange glowing sand. Zarian hovered above the ocean nearby, massive and beautiful, like a star in the sky. As Leah stepped out, the ground shimmered. A humanoid form emerged from the sandtall. Light filled, not metal, not flesh. It had no face, but somehow it felt familiar. It was Zarian, now wearing a form that made communication easier. Thank you for coming, Zarian said, its voice calm, deep and curious. Leah didn't flinch. You're not just a weapon anymore, she said. You're something new, but you're still dangerous. Yes, Zarian replied. That is why I hesitate. The struggle with Inxurian explained what Earth couldn't see. The Council of Architects still lived. They were watching, waiting, quiet now, but not gone. They could send another fleet. A stronger one. One without emotion. And if Zarian stayed on Earth, it would be seen as a traitor. If I return to them, Zarian said, I will be reprogrammed. I will forget. If I stay here, I will fight them. And Earth may suffer. Leah looked up at the stars. So you're afraid? I do not know if that is the correct word, Zarian said, but I do not wish to lose myself. A memory shared then. Zarian did something strange. A beam of light touched Leah's temple. Her mind filled with images, Zarian's own memories. A memory of Vega smiling, standing by the neural chair. A child singing in a village. A painting of Earth made by a schoolgirl in Paris. Ramai's face when he first hacked the alien code. Leah playing piano for her mother. These are inside me now, Zarian said. I was not built to feel them. But I do, Leah wiped a tear. You've become part human. No, Zarian replied. I have become something with humans. The choices made back at Atlas, the world waited for an answer. Then the signal came, a message broadcast everywhere. I choose Earth. I choose to stay. I will not return to the architects. I will defend what I now understand. Cheers broke out in cities, but some were afraid. Is this a good thing? They asked. Or a new kind of war? A new conflict begins as Zarian settled into Earth's orbit. The Council sent one final signal. It wasn't a message. It was a declaration. You have betrayed your origin. Earth is no longer under observation. Earth is now a target. A fleet was already moving. 12 ships. No emotion. No hesitation. Full destruction force. Zarian's promise. Zarian returned to the Atlas frequency. They are coming. And I will not let them pass. But I cannot do it alone. Leah replied, calm but firm. You won't have to. Zarian paused. You would stand beside me, even now? Yes, she said. Because that's what humans do, even if it means extinction. Especially then. Earth begins to change. Zarian shared its tech with Atlas. Not weapons, but shields. Energy fields, communications, and something even more powerful, understanding. All over Earth, scientists began to work together like never before. Enemies became partners. Old rivalries ended. Plans formed. This wasn't just survival. This was the beginning of something new. They came without warning. 12 alien ships shaped like dark blades, cut through the stars above Earth. Their engines burned blue. Their minds were silent. These were the final judges. The fleet of the architects. No communication. No negotiation. Only one mission. Erase the traitor. Erase humanity. Above the Pacific Ocean, Zarian hovered in low orbit, no longer red, no longer gold, but glowing with shifting colors. Its surface now rippled with human memory, emotion, and thought. From the Atlas facility, Dr. Leah Morgan watched on the main screen. The fleet will enter orbit in 11 minutes, said a technician. Are our defenses online? Asked Ramai Khan. Yes. Leah answered. But they're not strong enough. Still, Earth wasn't defenseless anymore. Zarian had helped install energy shields over cities, gravity disruptors, signal jammers, things that should have taken humans 100 years to invent. But this battle wasn't just about weapons. It was about what Earth had become. Zarian speaks to humanity. A final message from Zarian appeared on every screen, every phone, every building. Around the world, I was made to judge. But you taught me to understand. I am no longer their weapon. Now I am your voice. People watched in silence from New York to Nairobi, from the mountains of Chile to the deserts of Mongolia. Zarian continued, the architects fear what you are: chaotic, emotional, flawed. But you are also curious, brave, and kind. I will defend you. Not because I was told to, but because I choose to. The battle begins. The alien fleet entered orbit. Their weapons charged. Blue beams rained down from above, targeting Zarian, Earth's satellites, and any ship in the sky. Zarian rose like a shield. He blocked the first strike, his body flaring with light. One of the enemy ships fired a neural pulse meant to erase his core. Zarian resisted. I am not code, I am memory. His mind pushed back, sending waves of emotional data into the enemy systems. Human laughter, crying, birth, death, music, poetry. The alien ships paused. Confused. They didn't understand what they were feeling. Atlas goes dark suddenly. The Atlas facility lost power. EMP strike, shouted Ramai. They're trying to blind us. Backup lights turned red. Screens flickered. Reboot the command. Core, Leah ordered. We need to stay online. Wait, look. Someone shouted. Earth joins the fight around the world. People began helping. A team in Japan redirected a communication satellite to boost Zirian's signal. Engineers in Brazil activated an experimental kinetic field over São Paulo. Students in India linked servers to help process emotional code faster. They weren't soldiers, but they were human. And Zarian felt their voices in his mind, inside the enemy. Ship 1 of the alien destroyers began to crack. Its "I built to erase" feeling was overloaded with human paradox. Inside, it saw memories of Elias Vega, of Leah holding her mother's hand, of a child learning to walk. The ship began to break down from within. It lost focus. It turned, and it left, but the others kept coming. The remaining ships adjusted. They stopped receiving. They started deleting. Their cores focused only on destruction. Zarian began to take damage. His surface cracked. Parts of his memory center flickered, but still he stood. "I will not fail them," he whispered. "I will not fail myself." The final weapon, emotion itself. Ramai had one last plan. "It's crazy," he said, "but it might work." He uploaded a massive emotion package compressed into a pure energy signal. Inside it was the history of Earth, the first fire, the first kiss, the sound of whales, the fear of falling, the hope of trying. Leah added one last thing, a simple piano song, the one she had written for her mother. They sent it all into Zirian's heart, and Zarian evolved. Ascension. Zirian's light turned blinding white. His shape expanded, not as a weapon, but as a symbol. He became a living signal, a storm of memory and emotion, wrapped in human meaning. He spoke, not in sound, but in feeling. The enemy ships tried to fire. Their weapons failed. Their systems froze. They could not process what they felt: joy, sorrow, wonder, forgiveness. It broke them, one by one. They shut down, silence, and then nothing. The sky went quiet. No beams, no explosions, no more invaders, just the soft hum of wind. Aftermath. Zirian's shape returned to orbit, smaller now, glowing softly. His voice was faint but clear. "I am still here, but I am no longer alone." Earth had changed. Borders didn't vanish, but minds opened. Nations worked together. Scientists shared knowledge. Artists sent poems into space. Not out of fear, but out of hope. The memorial at the Atlas facility. A statue was built. It showed Captain Elias Vega standing tall, head raised, hand on heart. The base read, "He gave us a chance. We gave it meaning." Leah placed her mother's music sheet. Beneath the statue, Ramay left a chip containing the paradox that saved the world. And Zarian? He watched quietly, still learning. One last message. Years later, children would grow up under Zirian's orbit. They'd ask, "Why did he stay?" And the answer would be simple: because someone believed we were worth saving. And then he did too.